Alright, shalom, shalom, Haverim. Welcome to Cover with Jeremy Pyers. And we got a special guest today, Miss Wendy Moore. And we got some important information to share. She had a vision that Yah has given to her, and she would like to share it with all of you. And there's a lot of information she's also found that happens to coincide with it, but there is no coincidences. We all know that. But all right. Let's see. Are you there, Wendy?
Yeah.
All right. Can you guys hear that are live? Hold on one sec. Let me change the screen here. There we go. Well, I'll probably have to check and see if they. Can you guys all hear Wendy? Can you talk?
Shalom, everybody.
I think there's, of course, a delay, so.
I figured.
Shabbat Shalom, Kendall. Welcome. It's almost Shabbat Shalom here. Sun's still up. Can you hear Wendy all right there, Kendall?
Hello. Are they able to hear me?
Yeah. My input says it's capturing. Wait, let's do this. All right. Hello. Talk, Wendy. Can you hear?
Can you guys hear me now?
Is everything working? Can you guys hear me? I don't know if Kendall's even there. Hey, can you hear Wendy? Good there, Kendall?
I mean, I could turn up my volume, but I don't know if that'll help.
Maybe. Because I think I think my voice is coming in louder than yours.
Yeah, my mic's turned all the way up.
Is it?
She's saying hi, so hopefully she can hear me. Maybe I am
Yes. She says she can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
It's all good. No problem. We just wanted some confirmation. Alright, so first we can go ahead and start, if you want to go ahead and explain your visions that you had there, Wendy.
Okay, so the first one that I had was 2 weeks ago, and it happened 3 Fridays in a row, and it was pretty quick. All the obelisks around the plane, everywhere, crumbled all at the same time, and then giants came up out of them. So that was the first one. The second one, I can't tell you exactly where it was happening. I just know that there was a huge mountain in the middle of the plane somewhere. And it seemed to be like some kind of huge battle going on. There was like humanoid type creatures like trying to climb up this mountain and like attack what was ever up there. And there was these faces that kept appearing in the sky, and the faces would like they were all white and they would expand and then like dissipate, but they kept happening over and over. And then as the creatures were trying to, I'm calling them creatures, but they look human, but not human at the same time. They were trying to climb up the mountain, and I saw this big flash of light, and then what appeared to be the northern lights up above the mountain where like the faces were appearing, and then everything kind of like felt peaceful and calm after that. Like all the creatures disappeared, everything disappeared. It was all gone.
Wow. And
Pretty intense.
and you and you were saying you were showing these while you were awake.
Yeah, I was awake when this happened. Every single time. I was definitely not sleeping. I talk to Yah every night before I go to sleep, and right after my prayer, probably about 15 minutes, and I have my eyes closed, it's like boom, 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 everything starts happening. So, I mean, it's only been, you know, 2 different visions, but it's like a total of 4 times that I've seen the vision.
I think that's pretty significant, honestly. Like, and then
Yeah.
definitely, and and you know, like everyone knows we're so close. We're living in the end times. Like we don't know the day or the hour, but we know it's coming soon. Definitely. Yeah. And then let's see. Hold on. So there's these articles that we found.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So needless to say, that night, I was not able to sleep because Ruach led me to quite a few articles that like I just typed in one thing and I wasn't exactly sure what I was looking for, but everything just popped up at the top for me, which really never happened.
Yeah.
You know how the internet is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That all the shadow bands and all that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, so here I have on the screen, like I'll go ahead and read them and everything. And, like these are the articles that you know popped up to Wendy basically. You know, they were just shown to you like immediately after you said. Like,
Yeah, it was like immediately after. Like I was told basically, you're not sleeping right now. You need to look this stuff up.
right?
And after we're done reading this one, I guess I can explain the one that's possibly coming up after this one.
Okay. So here I'll go ahead and read it for you. And I don't know if you guys can see the website. It's right here on top. But I mean, you can put it in like DuckDuckGo or whatever. That's what I use. But you can put it in the same title. That's what I did, and I found it #1 spot. But it says Nimrod's tomb found. Cloning of Nimrod and Osiris underway. And this was written back in 2016. And I know a lot of people who view my channel, they know about all the Nephilim that were found in like Iraq and all that. And I'm sure you do as well, Wendy. Like,
Yeah, it just a little tiny side note with this article. Like, if you try to share it through Messenger, it will not go through. You can only
Yeah.
share it through text.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I tried it as well. Like, it doesn't work on anywhere on Facebook. They will not let you share it. That's why I had to I had to take screenshots of this article. It's the one I took the screenshots of. I'm surprised they let that pass even, really.
Right?
But there's ways around. Anyway, so I'll continue reading here. It says, excuse me. This is like Donald Marshall has told. The elite is cloning persons from the past and making them politicians and rock stars. Sick world we are living in. Pretty interesting. Called that right off the bat. As some of you may already know, archaeologists claim to have found the tombs of both Osiris, the Egyptian god, usually identified as the god of the afterlife, the underworld, and the dead, or also like Tammuz, and the tomb of Gilgamesh, a king who is claimed to be 1/3 man and 2/3 god, 66.6%. Also, Gilgamesh is another name for Nimrod. He goes by many names, actually. He has many names. And then very shortly after the tomb of Gilgamesh was discovered, America invaded Iraq, where it was discovered. This was back in 2003. So we were just beginning the war on terror. Quotations I'd put there. So these two gods are often linked to Nimrod. Yeah, exactly. Nimrod, Tammuz, all that. And many biblical researchers believe them to be one and the same. Is it possible these people actually existed and were men who were praised as gods? Oh, absolutely. That's what Scripture says, so. Is this possible that these men were influenced by the very same evil spirit that influenced Nimrod? If so, with the discoveries of these tombs, and with the very rapid expansion and understanding of DNA cloning technologies we are currently developing, it is possible that whoever may have governance over these tombs could be holding back information which is scarce, and could possibly be planning something larger. What if they want control over this demonic DNA? What if they want to use it for clones, or for injecting it somehow into someone else? This whole article, like, when I read it first, it, like, gave me chills. Like, I was like, dude. Anyway, what if these so-called gods did have some type of demonic power, like the occult seems to have? We all know where they get their power, though. Sorry, I add my commentary a lot. And their DNA contains something occult followers would wish to process. If Nimrod is, in a sense, worshipped still today by mystery religions, Mystery Babylon, what if these religions want to recreate him in some sense? If Babylon truly is still in existence to some degree, wouldn't Nimrod be the guy they would most want to see again? That's funny, he just straight points it out right there.
Right?
Excuse me. A whole lot of what ifs. But Nimrod worship is very real in this world, and with the technology of today and the discoveries of yesterday, something bigger could be in the works. Possibly something that will lead to the rise of the Antichrist. Pretty interesting how all this is in this article. Like, ongoing excavations and research at Nimrod Mountain in Bitlis have revealed the history behind the tomb and the treasures of King Nimrod. The real venue of the tomb, which was constructed 2,000 years ago, has been determined. And they also found out it's a resurrection chamber as well. Like,
Yeah. They when they invaded the museum over there, our American soldiers, they took a lot of artifacts and they recovered everything except for the resurrection tablet. So
Yeah.
those are apparently still missing.
Yeah, that's what they were looking for. There was even I heard some soldiers that were there, well, they're not soldiers anymore, but they were showing pictures of those tablets and straight told, like, look for these if you find them, bring them straight to, like, us. Like, 100%. Just check the chat real quick. Alright, it seems to be working. No complaints.
Said my volume was low. Hopefully they can still hear me.
I tried turning it up. Can you hear her alright there, Kendall? I'll just ask again real quick. And I'll check here in a bit. Alright, so writer and researcher Mehmet Torhan Serdar I probably tore that up, but said his team has determined the location of the tomb after an extensive period of research. Nothing that the mountain in Adiaman, I don't know the pronunciation, my apologies, has no relation to the mountain in Bitlis, Serdar said. This is the only resemblance in name. The reason being, there is another king of Adiamans, Nimrod, in Nemrut. King Nimrod, according to the book of Genesis and the book of Chronicles, was the son of Cush, and the great-grandson of Noah, and the king of Shinar. He is depicted in the Tanakh as a man of power on earth and a mighty hunter. Exactly. Extra-biblical traditions associating him with the Tower of Babel led to his reputation as a king who rebelled against Yah. Several Mesopotamian ruins were given Nimrod's name by 8th century Arabs. His tomb remained on the mountain, and the team believes to have found the real location of the tomb in Bitlis. Opening Pandora's box. As troubling as these thoughts are, they could just be the tip of the iceberg, as one-on-one interpersonal malevolence, by human animals might quickly be overshadowed by global acts of swarm violence. Interesting, huh? The possibility of groups of transhuman terrorists in the conceivable future is real enough that a House Foreign Affairs Committee chaired by California Democrat Brad Sherman, best known for his expertise on the spread of nuclear weapons and terrorism, is among a number of governmental panels and think tanks currently studying the implications of genetic modification and human transforming technologies related to the future of terrorism. See, look, like they already had all this planned out, you could tell just by reading this article from 2016. Like, this is genetic modifications, transhumanism, like that's the whole thing now. Like, just for saying these words, I'll probably get flagged, but whatever. My channel's pretty small, like, whatever. But anyway, like, it's crazy. And CQ columnist Mark Stencil listened to the recent HFA committee hearings and wrote in his March 15th, 2009 article, Futurist, Genes Without Borders, that the conference sounded more like a Hollywood pitch for a sci-fi thriller than a sober discussion of scientific reality. with talk of biotech's potential for creating super soldiers, super intelligence, and super animals, that agents of unprecedented lethal force. Man, there's a lot of big words there. George Annis, Laurie Andrews, and Rosario Isazi were even more apocalyptic in their American Journal of Law and Medicine article, protecting the endangered human towards an international treaty prohibiting cloning and irreheritable alterations. I don't think I said that right. Inheritable alterations. When they wrote, the new species, or post-human, will likely view the old, normal humans as inferior, even savages, and fit for slavery or slaughter. The normals, on the other hand, may see the post-humans as a threat, and if they can, may engage in a preemptive strike by killing the post-humans before they themselves are killed or enslaved by them. It is ultimately this predictable potential for genocide that makes species-altering experiments potential weapons of mass destruction. It makes the unaccountable genetic engineer a potential bioterrorist. Crazy. Because they're literally doing all this, like, now. And wow. Observations, like those of Annis, Andrews, and Isazi, cause one to wonder if this is not how the servants of Antichrist move, with such compassionate brutality, in rounding up to destroy all who refuse to take the mark of the beast. Not to be outpaced in this regard by rogue fringe scientists or even bioterrorists, DARPA and other agencies of the U.S. military have taken inspiration from the likes of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and in scenes reminiscent of Saruman the Wizard creating monstrous Uruk-hai, whatever, to wage unending merciless war. Billions of American tax dollars have flowed into the Pentagon's Frankensteinian dream of super soldiers and extended performance warfighter programs. Not only does the EPWFP envision injecting young men and women with hormonal, neurological, and genetic concoctions, implanting biochips and electrodes in their bodies to control their internal organs and brain functions. And plying them with drugs that deaden some of their normal human tendencies. The need for sleep, the fear of death, and the reluctance to kill their fellow human beings. But as Chris Floyd, in an article for Counterpunch a while back, continued, some of the research now underway involves actually altering the genetic code of soldiers, modifying bits of DNA to fashion a new type of human specimen, one that functions like a machine, killing tirelessly for days and on nights on end. Mutations that will revolutionize the contemporary order of battle and guarantee operational dominance across the whole range of potential U.S. military employments. Very interesting. They even said, it'll take away the need for sleep, the fear of death. You know, how they seek death, but it won't find them.
Exactly.
It's just this whole article is like, wow. Even reading it again, like. So, in keeping with our study, imagine the staggering implications of such science if dead Nephilim tissue was discovered with intact DNA, and a government somewhere was willing to clone or mingle the extracted organism to make Homo Nephilim. Oh look, they even named him. Isn't that cute? They already got a little name. Dude, if this doesn't show how this has all been in the making and planned, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, if one accepts the biblical story of Nephilim as real, yes, absolutely, such discovery could actually be made someday, or perhaps already has been and was covered up. Uh-huh. Hint, hint. Wow, this. As an example of this possibility, in 2009, blood was extracted from the bone of a dinosaur that scientists insist is nearly 80 million years old. Oh, they insist. Nephilim would have existed in relatively recent times, comparably. Making clonable material from dead biblical giants feasible. Guys, yeah, like, the technology to resurrect the extinct species already exists, and cloning methods are being studied now for use with bringing back Tasmanian tigers, woolly mammoths, and other extinguished creatures. They've already, I believe they already cloned a woolly mammoth in like Japan or something like that, if I remember right. I don't know, I'd have to look that up again. I believe they already did.
I remember hearing about it.
National Geographic also confirmed this possibility in their May 2009 special report, Recipe for a Resurrection. Quoting Hendrik Poignard of Macaster University, an authority on ancient DNA, who served as scientific consultant for the movie Jurassic Park, saying, "I laughed when Steven Spielberg said that cloning extinct animals was inevitable, but I'm not laughing anymore. This is going to happen. It's just a matter of working out the details." And look, you got like Tammuz right there with her Ankh, the Tammuz cross, which is what it really is, which is how Mitzrayim got all, or Egypt got all their deities and gods and all that. It's like it all adds up, but that's a whole different rabbit hole. How much longer is this thing? It's a pretty long article, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we read the whole thing, or should we like...
I wonder if Brad or two will let us link it in the description after.
Yeah. Because it really is a super long article. And it'd take like an hour to read just this article, I think. Let me check the chat real quick. No questions? Hopefully everyone can still hear us. Alright, so we'll go on to So this Christian Trinity Christian Trinity had its origins in Nimrod. And yeah, I'll link all these in the description actually after the video. I don't know if I'll be able to right now. Maybe. Yeah, I can. It'll take too long. But I'll edit it afterwards, and I'll link all these links in there. And then, alright. So, this one kind of had a lot of ads on it, but whatever. So, if y'all didn't know, the Trinity, this is where its origins came from, was Nimrod, Tammuz, and their son. Or Nimrod, or however their names go. I didn't care to take them into very much consideration, but it's Nimrod, Tammuz, and their son. Something like that. But anyways, in Genesis chapter 10, we are told the start of Nimrod's kingdom began in Babylon, Iraq, and Akkad. Now all these cities were located in a place in the land of Shinar, modern-day Iraq. Furthermore, in Genesis 11, we are told the following. It came about that as they traveled from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and lived there. So the construction of the Tower of Babel was being spearheaded by Nimrod himself. Let's talk a little bit about Nimrod, because there is much more to him than meets the eye. Nimrod was born from Cush, who came from the cursed line of Ham. And then Nimrod took a lady named Saramaeus to be his wife. And I believe I read all this too on my channel. I think it was in like Jubilees. I believe so. It was in Jubilees or one of the books I've read. Can't remember off the top of my head. Apologies. And Saramaeus proclaimed herself to be the queen of heaven. Now that's what it was. Nimrod, Saramaeus, and Tammuz was the son. After Nimrod died, his wife proclaimed him to be God. They had a son who was named Tammuz. Yeah, see. Now, interestingly, Tammuz was considered to be the reincarnation of the God-man Nimrod. So we have Nimrod, who is God the Father. Saramaeus, the Queen of Heaven, which is what the Catholicism likes to call Mary, who is considered to be the mother, and the Son, who is considered to be the incarnation of the Father. We all know who they call that, so. His name's Jesus. So the Catholic Trinity basically, it's basically the same as any other Trinitarian thing, but they use instead of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, they use the Father, Mary, and then Jesus. Like they worship Mary, like they put her over Jesus or Messiah, Yahusha. And then, can you see how the Christian teaching of the Trinity had its origins in paganism? They just straight lay it out right there.
It's just funny how people just don't get it or understand it.
I know. So many, even everything I've read, I've pointed that out. Like anything that points out opposite of what the Trinity doctrine is, I point it out. I'm like, look, take this verse. Yeah, Trinity, it doesn't work. It's paganism, and it started with Nimrod. That's all you got to know about it. Drop it. All false religions have their beginning in Nimrod. And I find it interesting the other article mentions how they still worship Nimrod today in the mystery religions. And how Scriptures calls it Mystery Babylon. And then here, There are also these are also known as the Mystery Babylon religions. I should just read. No wonder the Jewish people have always been at such odds with Christianity. Well, the thing is that the people who celebrate, or not celebrate, the people who follow Judaism, they reject Messiah. And they don't even really follow the Torah. They follow the Babylonian Talmud and all that garbage. They put that way above the Torah. And then Christianity, churchianity, they deny the law. But if you think about it, they're both denying the same thing, because Messiah is the living Torah. So they're both denying the same thing. That's why they'll get told, away from me, I do not know you, unless they repent. Anyways, let me continue. It is interesting to note that the names of Nimrod and Ceremaius have changed throughout the centuries, depending on which culture and language they appeared in. Exactly. Here's a brief snapshot of the names that Nimrod and Ceremaius went by, as they were adopted by different cultures. It's kind of what I explained earlier. But Nimrod was also known as Baal, Ninus, the God-man who built Nineveh, Marduk, Mulch. It only gives a couple of them. But Gilgamesh was also one of them. Osiris, like all that. And then Ceremaius, as the mother of all mothers, was considered to be the fertility goddess. And in Egypt, her name was Isis. In India, her name was Indrani. And in Asia, her name was Cybele. In Canaan, now the Holy Land, her name was Ashtaroth, or Astarte. Ishtar. Oh, and look, in modern day English, her name is Easter. Wow. And why do people celebrate this holiday? It is also interesting to note that although the word Babel now means disorder and confusion, it originally meant city of God. Remember, El means God. And look closely at the spelling of the word Bavel. We know from the account of the Tower of Babel that all languages of the world originated from one language. However, it is also true that all pagan religions of the world have had their origin from that one source as well. Pretty interesting. Here it says, it's a little excerpt here. It says, Christianity did not destroy paganism, it adopted it. And it's from Egypt came the ideas of a divine trinity. Look at that. The story of civilization, Caesar, and Christ, Will Durant, Part 3, 1944, page 595. Pretty interesting stuff. So, just checking the chat real quick. I don't think anybody's watching. No one else is. No viewers, but it's all good. It just says no viewers who have a account. There's still like 2 people playing it in the background.
Everything's still connected though, right?
Yeah, everything's still.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the one.
Oh. Yeah, okay. So, as I was being led by the Ruach, the Pope kept being put in my head, and I remembered that one of the popes had an assassination attempt a while ago, and I found the information on it, and they exhumed his body, I believe it was back in 2011, and have put it like up close and personal, like in the Vatican, with a web camera going on it 24/7, like they were waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, that was crazy to even see that. And then the other stuff that you sent me about how they moved another pope just to put him there, like,
Yeah, and if they said it was unprecedented, stuff like that never happens. Like they don't ever move one to put someone, in a better position or anything. And he wasn't involved either.
yeah. So, yeah, and like it ties in with like your vision and the last articles. It all ties together because like it's just like they said. Are they gonna use this Nephilim Nimrod DNA and inject it into somebody to like reincarnate them? And like, could this, you know,
Exactly.
yeah,
Even in the poison that everybody's getting right now,
yeah,
to
exactly,
change their DNA, like the Nephilim
exactly.
DNA is in that, and then maybe they're going to use Nimrod for the Pope, or maybe getting someone else's body ready for Nimrod's body, like, or his essence, spirit, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like,
Because when they found him and the other Nephilim that were with him, they were in perfect condition. They were in like a cryostasis. They said that there was some type of machines that they even had back then to preserve their bodies, so that there was no decay. They were not mummified. They were not anything. They just like
oh yeah,
normal
like,
people there without any aging, without like anything.
yeah. They.
Which, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just gonna say they had they had advanced technology back then. They don't want
Oh
us
yeah,
to know about, and
yeah. We were like about everything.
yeah, it's. I have videos on my channel about our history.
And then when I started seeing like how they were so preserved, the Ruach was like Nimrod's mirror. Look at Nimrod's mirror, and I wasn't understanding what it was saying. And then I was like, oh, look at Nimrod backwards, like how they do
Yeah,
everything upside down.
yeah, yeah, and
And
it.
that's what led me down the whole dormant
Yeah,
rabbit hole.
exactly. That's where we're gonna go right here. So, so this is very interesting how you all this came together and you found all this. Like,
It wasn't me. It was
it,
Yah praised in him, and the Ruach led me the whole way.
oh, absolutely. All praise to the Most High, 100%. And it's interesting. So this thing here, this plant hormone called dormin, is Nimrod backwards. So, and there's a lot of interesting stuff about this thing. So it's a plant hormone, and it contains abscisic acid, and let's see, it it owes its name to its role in the abscission of plant leaves. So that's like the little marks on the leaves, and then an an iso an isoprenoid plant hormone found in metazoans from sponges up to mammals, including humans, and abscisic acid. So, isn't this the one you wanted me to read this right here, right? The,
I took a better link that had it not so broken up, but it's just basically, I want to say it's kind of like a role playing game or something, but information that's behind it. You know, they tell truth in games and movies and live on TV.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So like right here, it just says examples, and like apparently Dorman was also some kind of demon, right? Like that's what you found.
Yeah, I found that he was some type of demon, like basically in this like video game, and it's crazy because they cut him up into 16 parts.
Wow.
And
Wow.
his spirit was and his spirit was scattered into like a bunch of different people or something like that. And the main character of the game, his name is Wander, and
Whoa.
they were going to resurrect another like spirit or something, and then each step of the way, a sliver of Mormon goes into Wander, and at the end, the supposed good guys come and kill Wander, and all of those pieces that were in Wander went back into Dormant, and he resurrects.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. so, so here it says Wander requests that Dorman return to Mono's soul to her body, which Dorman states may be possible on the condition that Wander can destroy the 16 idols lining the temple's hall by using the ancient sword to kill the 16 colossi located throughout the land.
Those sound like Titans a little bit.
Yeah. Titans, colossals, Nephilim, giants. And he has a small group of warriors at his command and is pursuing Wanderer to prevent the use of the forbidden spell. The ritual the ritual involving the destruction of the 16 colossi and the restoration of Dorman's power. And then after vanquishing the shadow creatures, the voice of the disembodied entity known as Dorman echoes from above, expressing surprise that Wander possesses the weapon. This is just, yeah.
I'll link you the other one that I found where the story's not like all broken up that way. We can link the description when you're done.
Yeah. And then, let's see. Where was I? Despite... Wait. Yeah, here I was. Mono follows Agro to the pool Mon spell, finding a male infant with tiny horns on his head. However, a newly whole Dorman takes control of Wanderer's body and transforms into a shadowy giant. Despite being warned by Dorman that he may have to pay a great price to revive Mono, Wander sets out to search the land for the colossi and destroy them. Urged to hurry with his task by Dorman, Wander soon heads off to defeat the 16th and final colossus. In Legends of the Game's world, excuse me, it's said that Dorman has the power to revive the dead. It is for this reason that Wanderer enters the Forbidden Land, seeking its assistance in reviving Mono. Interesting. Dorman offers to revive her in exchange for Wanderer destroying the 16 colossi. It was discovered and researched under two different names before its chemical properties were fully known. It was called Dorman and Abscissin II. So that just kind of tossed that one in there. He is portrayed as having extensive knowledge regarding the nature and contaminant of Dorman, the ability to use powerful magic. Dorman, which spells Nimrod backwards, has been speculated to be a reference to the body of a biblical king Nimrod, which was cut up and scattered. Yeah,
You think?
you think? Right? And it, so like, look. So, so this is what abscisic acid is and does. So there's like many things it does apparently, but it's a plant hormone. It functions in many plant developmental processes, including seed and bud dormancy and the control of organ size and stomatal closure. Interesting. So not only does it help in the process of dormancy, but you can control the size of your organs, and I'm sure more than that. They're just, is that how Nimrod, is this what Nimrod used to gain his massive size? Like, honestly, that's what
I was thinking.
100%.
It also doubles as a sleep aid.
Yeah.
So
A sleep aid.
what
It's
did he use when he went into his stasis? You know what I mean?
exactly. And let's see. There was one over here. It has a role as a plant hormone. It is. Wait, hold on. Oh, here it is. It is an anatomy. Man, I can't. Anatomier. I think I got it. Anatomier of a abscisic acid. Abscission accelerating plant growth substance isolated from young cotton fruit. Leaves of sycamore, birch, and other plants, and tomatoes and lemons and etc. So this form of abscisic acid it's a growth accelerator. Like, it's just crazy. Dormancy, growth, acceleration, all these. And there was an article I found that says it's mostly found in the plant's roots. Root cuttings, pharmacia.
Not only that, they now sell dormant in a pill form to
Yeah.
help you go to sleep.
Yeah, right? Oh, here it is. Yeah, abscisic acid is produced in the roots of plants. It's just, yo. The whole thing,
Exactly.
the whole thing is just, I mean, the side effects of Dorman. So I'll just kind of scroll down the list here. Like, these last two links are pretty easy. You can just type in abscisic acid. I can't. It's a tongue twister. And then Dorman side effects, all that. It easily pops up. But I'll link these other ones, the first three articles. Because I think those were important, and those are pretty hard to find unless you would know what keywords, honestly. But yeah. So the side effects, like solemnness, dizziness, incoordination. Let's see. Where is that? There's one. Prolonged use may cause drowsiness, reduce alertness, confusion, tiredness. Let's see. You can have allergic reactions to it, such as rhinitis, cough, cold symptoms, extrapyramidal reaction, and belonging to the drug classes anticholinergic, whatever.
It's crazy because the main ingredient of this is what they use in even just vinegar.
Yeah, right. And then like
Crazy.
And most of these side effects are like the same side effects as, you know,
going on right now. Yeah, yeah,
like psychomotor retardation, muscle weakness, headaches, ataxia, confusion, amnesia, depression, blurred vision. In predisposed patients, may be worsening of suicidal thoughts and hallucinations, like lethargy, disorientation, yeah, slurred speech, confusion, vertigo, dizziness. Like, dude, these are all, you name it, these are what's, happening now.
yeah. It just makes me think like that in combination with the other DNA, like they don't have to tell you everything that's in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's, you know, I'm pretty sure, like, you were showing all this for a reason, because this is exactly what's going on. Like, I know we can't really say exactly, like,
Yeah.
but this is what's going on. And shalom there, Brother John. Shabbat shalom. But yeah, like, so I believe that's legit. Like, they're gonna take Nimrod's DNA. They already have, is my speculation. And they're putting it in there. Or they could be, there's many different routes that can go, honestly. Like, they could be doing that. They could be,
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say like I don't see them wasting Nimrod's DNA on the rest of the population
Yeah,
that
yeah.
are submitting. You know what I mean?
That's
I think
true.
that using Nephilim DNA for that, but
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as Nimrod's DNA, I think it's going to be held for something special. That's just my opinion, and it makes me wonder how many times have they tried that
I think
and
you're
it not stuck.
I think you're exactly right, honestly. Like, for real. And yeah, who knows how many times they've tried it already, and they just haven't had the right, person. Like, whatever. Maybe, yeah, there's so many possibilities.
Right?
And like, just the whole entire earth is deceived by pharmakia. And
Exactly.
if you cannot see that's happening now, that I don't know what to tell you, but like, people need to really wake up and see, like, it's this has all been planned. It's all part of their plan. It's been planned for thousands of years, all by the master planner and deceiver.
Absolutely.
And now more than ever, like, I think it's very important, because this is information we have to get out, and it's very important because that time is coming soon. And like, there's too many
Yeah.
going around that are like, oh, it's just a precursor, and it's not this, or blah blah blah, just downplaying it. What if it is, and you've just downplayed it to thousands of people, and that's gonna be on you. Like,
Exactly.
I'm not. I can pretty much say, in my own opinion, that this is, like, it is the mark, 100%. They haven't implied or implemented all the rules yet that go with the mark, per se. But they basically are. You can't do this and do that without it.
Well, yeah, and they wouldn't be able to implement it all at once either because people really would rebel even more than
Yeah, yeah.
they are now.
That's why they're doing it so slowly. Yeah.
Exactly. And the fact that, the first rider on the white horse comes with a crown and a bow, and that bow is used in, you know, that paragraph is fabric. It's not a bow and arrow. It's fabric, like a mask.
Yeah, yeah. Like a
Like
mask.
fabric.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That was an awesome find as well, right there too. Like
We all know what crown means, so.
the White Rider. He was a White Rider because he, Satan comes as an angel of light. He's a deceiver. That's why people they call it their savior and their miracle and this and that and like straight headlines saying that. And to downplay it and say, oh, it's not nothing, but I wouldn't take it. Like, I mean, that's downplaying it still, even. And like, what I'm saying is, don't even take any pharmacia. Like, wean yourself off any medications that you're on now. There's natural ways of doing it. I've been studying it for like since well before I was awakened. Like natural cures. And when y'all opened my eyes, it made even more sense, honestly. So, I haven't been injected, or probably shouldn't have said that, but jabbed or whatever since I was like 13 years old.
I think it's been about the same for me.
Yeah, I think y'all was like protecting us from that, because
Definitely.
after when I was a teenager, I didn't care about going to doctors or nothing. I cared more about drugs and girls. And then it's like doctor. And then as I just got older, I was just like never had a need or felt a want to go to a doctor, so I just never ever went to one. And all these flu shots and stuff that they would be pushing, I never got one. Never got the flu. None of that.
Right.
And like, just never got it. And then I wasn't even aware like of what I wasn't awake. So like, I wasn't even aware about the dangers of them and such. And then when I found out the dangers, I was like, oh man. I was like, I'm glad I've been off this stuff for years. But anyway, yeah. It's
Can I make one request regarding that vision that I had? Like, if anybody can, like, search, or if they know of anything of what those white spaces in the sky that, like, expanded and dissipated and keep coming back, if anybody has any idea of what that could be, please let us know. I feel like it's important in its own piece that I don't have of that vision.
yeah. Exactly. Like, if anybody out there would be able to help her out, she's my friend on Facebook as well. If you're not already friends with her, Miss Wendy. But man, we've been on for over an hour now.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't even feel like it, really.
No, it doesn't. Please share this information, though. It's so important that we get it out to everybody.
Yes, absolutely. I know we're pretty late for most people, because a lot of people are on the East Coast, I guess.
True. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. But hopefully, someone or many people will look at this information and take heed to it. And again, I'll put the links in the description after the video's done, so they'll be easier to find. And it all makes sense now. Like, like you were given like a puzzle piece, basically.
Yeah.
Cause like I
I did
didn't.
not ask for it.
Yeah. Exactly. And then just to find all that coinciding information like that, that's definitely the Ruach. Like 100%.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Once you start walking and following, his ways,
Absolutely.
start happening for you. Like when I started keeping Shabbat, like, to the best of my human capabilities, is when the vision started. So
Yeah.
I think if I didn't do that, I probably would have never seen anything. So
Exactly.
glory Yah for all of that.
Praise Yahweh. 100%.
Amen.
But all right, I think we'll have to cut it there though for this evening.
Okay.
If that's okay with you, Wendy.
Yeah, of course. If anybody has questions, they can just leave it, in the comment section, and I'll answer whatever I can if you don't get to it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if anyone has questions, feel free to comment. And then and you can go ahead and, ask a question or whatever to Wendy, and I can send her a screenshot of it, or she can even check it herself, She can go on there and look at it. But yeah, I mean, if anyone can help with more information as well, please contact us. Keep in touch. Spread this information. Get it out there. We shouldn't be downplaying anything that's going on right now.
Exactly.
It's end times matters. We're in the end times. Shouldn't be downplaying it. But anyway, is there anything else you want to say, Wendy? Or
No? Have a good Shabbat tomorrow, everyone, and shalom, and have a good evening.
Awesome. Yes, I say the same as well. So, Shabbat Shalom all, and we'll see you. Well, we'll see you Sunday actually for my reading. And then, Shabbat Shalom all.